This might be a full-fledged seller's market right now, but it's still very important to find the right agent to sell your home. So in today's video, we are going to be going over the interview questions that you need to know to hire the best realtor for the job. Let's get it going right after this intro. Hey residents, welcome back to the channel. My name is MJ. I'm a realtor out here in Las Vegas, Nevada with the Berkshire Hathaway brand. And here on this channel, we tour all around the Las Vegas Valley looking at builder model homes and existing inventory to make your next shopping experience for your next home all the more easy. However, on today's video, we have something special going on. We're finishing up this quick little series on interview questions for realtors. And today we're going to be going over the listing agent and what questions should you be asking in the interview. That way you can make sure you're hiring the right agent for the job. Another thing to keep in mind is make sure you're listening to what the agent is saying and interpreting what they're saying appropriately. Every single agent is going to say something different, and it's up to you to interpret what they're saying and decide who is going to be best for the job and who are you going to trust the most with your home being sold for the most money. That said, let's just go ahead and jump into these 6 hard-hitting questions. I have follow-up questions for every single one with the exception of the last question. I'll explain that once I get there, but let's just go ahead and get started. These first 3 questions, if you watched the previous video, are going to be the exact same. I'll put a timestamp down below for each question so that way you can jump ahead if you need to. The first question is, are you full-time or are you part-time? The reason this is so important is you don't want to be waiting until 6 o'clock for somebody to get off work to get an answer to a question, or if you have an emergency in the transaction that you need handled immediately, you need to make sure that that agent is available right then and there to get that situation taken care of immediately. Further, having a full-time agent, this is what they do for a living. This is how they pay their bills. This is what they do to put food on the table for their families. This is what they go on vacation with. So, of course, they're going to put in the full effort towards you and getting your house sold for the most money because that's their income as well. Keep that in mind. I have 2 follow-up questions for this. First off, if they are relatively new to being a realtor, I would ask them what their previous job was and why they decided to switch to being a realtor. So this is actually a pretty hard-hitting question because it puts them on the spot to decide on how they want to present their previous job and why they quit, what their reasoning is. You're going to get a sense of who the person is and what their goals are. For example, I come from the hospitality industry, so I have a very high sense of customer service, and that is actually one of my goals. Personally, I strongly believe, just like the movie Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. That said, if I do a good job, I'm going to get paid, and I'm going to get referrals, which will keep building itself moreover and moreover. I think personally, that's probably the answer you should be looking for. However, maybe somebody else has even a better answer than I have. If you have any comments to this or any suggestions, let us know in the comments below. It's be really interesting to get a conversation started with this below. Number 2, as with any interview, how good are you with communication? Personally, I interpret this as how quickly are you going to respond to me if I need an answer? Now, that's not to mean in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. if you text me a question about real estate, I'm probably not going to answer. The chances are of me getting up to answer that, slim to none. Now, if you call me 4 times and I see it's an emergency, yeah, I'll probably get up and give you a call just to see what's going on and get the situation resolved. However, if I'm out at dinner, I'm going to take a look at the text message or listen to the voicemail. And if it is an emergency, I'll step away for a moment and give you a call. However, if it can wait, I'll make it first priority right after dinner to make sure to give you a call back and get that situation resolved. That's probably the best answer you're looking for. You don't want somebody that's going to be like, oh, as soon as you call, I'm going to pick up every single time, no matter what time of day, if I'm on my deathbed. No, you don't want that. That's not the agent. They're just simply trying to sell themselves to you, and that's not what you want. You want somebody who's going to be straightforward and truthful with you through the entire process, including this interview, because if they're lying to you now, they're probably going to lie to you later. So just keep that in mind. As a follow-up question there, I would ask, how often can I expect an update from you? Now, when you're selling a home, it is actually pretty important to receive pretty regular updates. I like to do it every couple days at least. That way the client knows what's going on with their home, if they have any offers, how much interest have they had, especially if it's a vacant property. They're not there, they don't know what's going on. So I just like to touch base with them quite regularly. And through the offer process, inspection, appraisal, I just like to update them just so they know and can be secure that the transaction is going well. The third question is very important as well, more so for this side than the buyer side, is why should I hire you? Now, as far as the listing side, this is very, very important because this can actually set apart how a realtor markets your home and makes your home project to the community, getting people in there to look at it, as well as the wording and the salesmanship that they put forward towards selling your home. This is what's going to make you money in the long run. So this is very, very important. Listen very closely to what they say here. As a follow-up question, I would ask, what sets you apart from other agents? Now, for me, this is an easy answer. I have YouTube. I do this quite regularly, so I use that to my advantage in that particular scenario. However, YouTube is not the only form of marketing in the world, is it? There is print marketing, there's social media, there's MLS, like the list goes on and on. I'm not even joking. There's like 15 different ways that we can market easily, and there's more complex ways to do it as well. So just make sure you're listening to what their agent is saying, because this is what's going to make you money in the long run. Again, it's invaluable information. This is a good segue into the next topic, which is how are you going to market my home? For myself, I've probably already answered this question, but I would probably go into a little bit more depth of what else I might do as far as advertising. This is also a good time for the follow-up question is, why aren't you using these tools as well as these tools? What is the decision there? They're more than likely going to answer that question, and they're probably just going to straight up tell you they don't find it worth the time and haven't seen any value out of it. And especially in today's market, when a monkey could sell a home because there's such a lack of inventory, this question really isn't all that relevant right now. However, once the market stabilizes and further potentially flips into a buyer's market, I'm not saying it is or isn't, but that question is going to become more and more relevant. So keep that in mind if you're watching this in the future. The next question I would ask is, are you primarily a listing agent or a buyer's agent? And the reason I like to ask this question is because it goes to the experience of the agent. If they're primarily a buyer's agent and they only take a couple listings, maybe you should be looking for somebody who has more listings and has more experience listing homes. If they have a good 50-50 mix, I wouldn't really worry about it too much, but if they're also a full-time listing agent, they don't take on buyers, that's even better. As a follow-up to this fifth question, I would ask, what is your list to sale conversion rate? This will give you a good idea of actually how good they are at their job in selling the home and what they previously talked about in their marketing, how effective it actually is. It also goes to how well they're pricing your home and whether they're finding a good balance and be able to get you the most money out of your home. And the sixth and final question, and arguably the most important question to ask, is, will you cut your commission? You think I'm talking about money, don't you? I am not. The answer you're looking for is a hard no. The reason you want this answer is because you do not want an agent that will crumble under the first sign of pushback from another agent in negotiations. Let me give you an example. If you go with that 1% listing agent, guess what? You're getting a sign in your yard and your house on the MLS. That's all you're getting. You're not getting negotiating power. You are not getting any kind of advertising value. That's it. That's all you're getting for that 1% commission on those types of agents. However, if you get a good 3% agent, you're going to get somebody that's going to fight for you in negotiation, get the most money out of your home, and market the hell out of it. So make sure you pay really close attention to what they say when they answer this question, because if they straight up say, yeah, okay, I can guarantee you in negotiations, when something comes through, they're going to be like, oh, well, here it is. I recommend you take this, just sign it, we'll be good. Where a good agent will be like, the buyer's agent wants this. However, I recommend that we decline this and possibly even renegotiate what we're talking about here. So you need somebody that has a good, strong will and willing to give you the proper advice moving forward. That way you get the most money for your home. The buyer doesn't give a shit about you, but the agent should. And this will definitely answer that question for you. But anyway, that about wraps it up for this video. I really hope it helps you out. I do recommend that you interview at least 3 realtors. If you don't like any of those 3, make sure you keep interviewing and find somebody that you can honestly trust in selling your house for the most money. Do not go with Uncle Joe, who just got his real estate license 2 weeks ago and is still working a full-time job. It doesn't make sense. He doesn't have the experience and he can't put the effort towards the home that you deserve. So make sure you hire the right agent, guys. But as for now, I really appreciate you guys watching. If you do like this type of content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you don't miss a single video when I upload. And as always, we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good night.
Get me out of here.